Hello, 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 my brothers and sisters out there. It's dinner time, so come on in. I got a good treat for you all this evening. Got some good nutritional soul food for you this evening, so come on in, come on in. Sit down, the table is spread, get you a chair. We got the utensils and we got plenty of plates. Come on in so you can get this good nutritional knowledge this evening, my brothers and sisters. We going to have a good show tonight. How you doing, mother? I see my mother is one of the first ones at the dinner table. I see Sister Flo. She done came into the dining room. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. Come on in. And invite some of your guests to this show too, my brother and sister. If you have anything to say during dinner time, hey, if this your first time, I want you to be able to say anything at the dinner table. Of course, my brother and sister, you can say whatever you want to say at the dinner table, but be very respectful, because if we have some guests at tonight's dinner table, we want them to be able to come back. I want them to have a good taste in their mouth when they leave the dinner table, because we're going to fill them up. Ain't that right, my brother and sister? We're going to fill them up. So come on in, brothers. Come on in, sister. Invite some guests in this evening. We're about to get into it. We got a good show this evening. And if you have any comment, I'm encouraging you, my brother. I'm encouraging my sister to go ahead and say what you got to say, because this is what family is about, okay? So let's get ready. Shortly, we're about to jump into tonight's content. So get ready. How you doing, Sister Deborah D. Scott? She's at the dinner table. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Well, my brothers and sisters, how you all doing this evening? We are about to embark on the Over the Hump Day, but before we get to Over the Hump Day, we're going to have to take care of a little business this evening. And my brothers and sisters, you going to enjoy this show tonight. As far as the guests, you going to enjoy this show tonight also. So get prepared. I want you able to be relaxed, because this is a good topic. And I want your thoughts, my brother, and I want your thoughts, my sister, and guests. What do you think about this particular topic I'm going to talk about? But before we get into it, I would like to let the guests know that my name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a biblical point of view. When I say biblical, I believe strongly that God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, he presented the woman Eve to Adam. And at that particular time, Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman, because she came from man. And so it was, Adam said that in the presence of God. So what Adam was doing, he was claiming and taking responsibility for this one particular woman that God brought in his sight. And Adam found this woman, just like Boaz found Ruth, just like Abraham's son Isaac found Rebecca. So we about discovery, my brother and sister, which leads me to this. Before I say this, if you don't believe in the relationship between a man and a woman, from a biblical standpoint, you have what's called a free will. God give you a free will. So you're going to do whatever you're going to do anyway. But if you're going to be at the dinner table tonight, I'm just letting you know I talk about the relationship basically between a man and a woman from a biblical perspective, okay? So I encourage you, you can sit down and you can enjoy this soul food tonight. And with that said, my brother and sister, tonight's topic is, can a man love more than one woman exactly the same? Isn't that something, my brother and sister? Can a man love more than one woman exactly the same? Now, what do you think about that, my brother and sister? Do you think a man could love more than one woman exactly the same, in the same manner? What do you think? We're about to get into this. Now, my brother and sister, before I get into it, let's go down memory lane a little bit. Now, there are some lyrics that I'm going to quote to you, and you tell me what song this go to. There is a lyric, and this is some old school stuff, okay? Now, this is how the lyrics go. Wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left was alone. Now, where do those lyrics go to? What artist does those particular lyrics go to? It said, wherever he laid his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left was alone. Do you have any idea, my brothers? Do you have any idea, my sister, what those lyrics go to? Well, if you don't, your brother Tony know, because your brother Tony brought it up. Let me make it easy. That song, my brother and sister, was written by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong. It was sung and performed by The Temptation. The song was called Papa Was a Rolling Stone. That's right, mother. Papa was a rolling stone. That's the song. Now, since Papa was a rolling stone, and the topic is, can a man love more than two women? Well, more than one woman, exactly. Now, there is no man, my brothers, there is no man, my sister, that if you really ask a man, would he prefer being placed on an island by himself? Now, there are some men that walk around right now that say, I don't need a woman, I don't want no woman. But I wonder if that man was put on an island by himself, would he prefer a man or a woman to be his company? Let's take the man out of the equation. Would that man want a woman with him, or would he prefer to be alone? What do you think, my brother and sister? Now, as it is written in Genesis 2:18, Genesis 2:18, it said, then the Lord said, the Lord God said, that this was God said. God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper for him, just right for him. Now, God said it's not good for a man to be alone. Is there anyone that want to rebuttal that statement? Now, God said that this is not what Tony's saying. Tony just working at the station GOD. I'm just a newscaster, and God said himself it's not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper just right for him. Now the question is, what man does believe is saying? What man believe what I just said, or what man doesn't believe what I said? Because, or woman, do you believe or you don't believe what God said? But it's not good for a man to be alone. Now the topic is, can a man love more than one woman? Exactly the same. Again, can a man love more than one woman? Exactly the same. Before I get into that question, my brother and sister, let's see, what is God's position on it? Let's see, what is God's position on that? But before we find out what God's position on it, there's a question. There are 2 points that I would like to make. Case number one is the first point I'm going to make. And this going back to God's word again, as it is written in Genesis 1:26. Genesis 1:26, it said, so God created in his image, the image of God created he them, male and female. He created them. Sister Four said, I don't think a man can love 2 women at the same. Okay, thank you, sister, for give me your thoughts on that. And then case number 2, there is this man. Now, the first case of a man having more than one woman, it is actually documented in the Bible. If you go to Genesis 4:19, that Genesis 4:19, this is the first player, my brother and sister, the first player that's documented in the Bible. And if I'm going to try to pronounce his name right, it's Lamers or something like that. It's Lamech. How you doing, Sister Twyla? Lamecha. This guy was so bad, my brother and sister, it said that he took for himself 2 wives. That's right, it's documented in Genesis. This guy had 2 wives while Adam and Eve were living. He is the offspring of Adam and Eve. This guy had 2 wives. He is the first documented case of a man having 2 wives. But the question is, now let's see what God's plan is. Now, God's original plan, my brothers and sisters, this is God's original plan. Jesus being God's only begotten Son, and he being God himself, it is written in Mark 10, and we're going to go through chapter 6 through 9. Again, Mark 10, and verses 6 through 9. Mark chapter 10, 6 through 9. Jesus doing the talking. Jesus said, but at the beginning of creation, at the very beginning, Jesus is doing the talk. Jesus said, at the very beginning of creation, God made them male and female. And for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the 2 will become one flesh. So they are no longer 2, but one flesh. Therefore, what God had joined together, let no one separate. So from God's position, it's like God's original plan was for a man and a woman. But after Adam and Eve did what they did, which they rebelled against God, we find out that there was this one particular man, back to Genesis 4:19, and I think his name, I'm trying to pronounce it right, Lamech or something like that, Lamech. He had 2 wives. But God's original plan was he made male and female. So the controversy is, should a man have more than one woman? Should a man have more than one woman? Those of you that coming in tonight, the question is, can a man love more than one woman exactly the same? Now, when you look at it from a biblical standpoint, you could look at King David, you could look at King Solomon, and some more men that was in the Bible. They had more than one wife. They even had concubines. They were not called side chicks during that time. They was called concubines. That's what they were basically called. But a concubine was like a mistress. She was a kept woman. Everybody, even the queen knew who the concubine is. Now the question still go, can a man love more than one woman exactly the same? Let me tell you this, my brother and sister. Let me tell you this. I have experience in this, what I'm about to say. I got some experience in this. And let me tell you this, and not only me, but other guys that have tried to do this apart. When it comes to having a relationship with more than one woman, it could be taxing on that man's mind. It could be taxing on that man's emotions. It could be taxing on that man's body. And it could definitely be taxing on that man's pocket. So the more women that a man entertains, he got to spread himself. And when a man spread himself, a man dealing with, all women aren't the same. Even though they're women, they do some things in common, but they're not the same. So if a man's supposed to be on point and focused, and you have different women that have different mentalities, those different women, more than likely, they're going to want the man's attention, because women love attention. Now, if you go and pay as one woman, and the more you add to the mix, every woman wants attention. Or if we go to this group called Guy, you all remember this group called Guy, they had a song out, you can have a piece of my love. Called Aaron Hall, that led the song for Guy, he said, You can't have all of me because I'm not totally free. I can't tell you everything that's going on. Now, listen to what Aaron said. Aaron said you can have a piece, but you can't have the whole. You can't have the whole pie. So can a man love more than one woman? Exactly the same. Let me tell you this. Sisters, if you get into a relationship with a man and he already have a queen, if he already have a queen and you know that he have a queen, you walking into a situation knowing that that man have a queen. If you walk into the situation, you know that that man have a queen, do you really think that you're going to sit on the throne? Let's answer that question. If this man have a queen, do you think you're going to sit on the throne? If you look at it from a royalty perspective, because there are a lot of men going around here saying they're kings. There are a lot of women that go around here saying they're queen. But if you take a king and a queen, let's say a man and a woman, they can be a king and a queen because they dominate wherever they at. So that's their dominion. That wherever they at, that's their dominion. But sister, if a man already have a woman that's supposed to be numero uno, and you come into the mix, do you think that that man gonna love you equally or exactly the same? Now let's multiply that. Say that this man have several women. Let's just say if the man is single. If the man is single and he dating different women, he dating different women here and there, here and there, here and there. Let me tell you something. All those women aren't going to be treated exactly the same. Now we're not even, this man is not married. I'm talking about a single man. If a single man dating different women, you're not, the woman is not going to be viewed the same. He's going to like something about that one. He's going to like something about this one, something like that one, and that one. But he's not going to view them on an even keel. Now, let's just say if a man married more than one woman. If he married more than one woman, is that man going to treat them the same? There's no way a man could treat, even if it's not a whole bunch of women, if it's two women, there's no way that that man going to treat both of them the same. And that's what, in some women, they don't mind being in a relationship with a man that already got a woman or they think got a woman. Some of them don't mind that. But let me tell you this. If you deal with a man that got more than one woman, somebody is going to lack. A woman is going to lack. And if you multiply, keep adding women, someone gonna go lacking. Let's take King Solomon for example. And I have used it before, and you all can read it. King Solomon was dealing with 1,000 women, and that's not no. I'm not just throwing that out there. King Solomon had 700 wives, and the rest of them was concubine. A concubine is like a junior wife, but they're not the ones that are gonna sit on the throne. Every woman can't sit on the throne. Let me be more precise. If a man dealing with more than one woman, only one woman going to be the apple of that man's eye. I'm just letting you know. So if you're looking at me tonight, or if you catch it later on when I save it on YouTube or on my channel on YouTube or something like that, I'm letting you know now. Only one woman is going to be the apple of that man's eye. When you look at cases in the Bible, like King David, he had a preference in a woman. King David, he had a preference. Not only King David, but Jacob, whose name was Israel. He dealt with two sisters, Leah and Rachel. Rachel was the one that the Bible said with ease on the eye. She was a good-looking woman. Jacob, Israel, that is, he got tricked into marrying Leah. He didn't like Leah too much, but he had more children with Leah than he had with Rachel. He loved Rachel. He put up with Leah. So what I'm saying, a man, there's no way a man going to love more than one woman exactly the same. Some woman is going to be, she's not going to get his full attention. So let me tell you this, sister. Let's say if it's two women, somebody going to go lacking. He can't do it all. Even if a man have two women staying with him, one of those women going to detect that he got favor to another woman. There's no way a man could love a woman equally on the same level. He might like one, but or he might like one more than the other. But when it comes to love, that's when we talk about this emotional thing. He's going to gravitate to one more than the other. And when I talk about if a man actually married with, oh yeah, thank you, Sister Flo. If two women stay on a man, that's like some men now in the United States of America, like they doing over in the Middle East. Some men, they have women staying with them, and everybody's supposed to be in agreement. But if you ask those ladies, do you feel that he loved you like he loved everyone? Some of them that are in a state of denial, some of them will say, yeah, he loved us all the same. He may tell these different women that he loved them, but in his heart, I'm a man. We can't love a woman on the same level. We could love one, but we could like others. Or if you're not quote unquote in love with one, you prefer one than the other. How you doing, Sister Cheryl? You understand? So I'm telling you this, sister, if you get involved, if you're single and it's a single man, and this man letting you know that he's not ready for no relationship, but if you want to roll with him, he'll roll with you. Most of the time when a man tells you, sister, that he's not ready for a relationship, he's not ready for no long-term relationship with you. You understand? He's not ready for no long-term relationship with you. Or he's not going to ever be ready for a long-term relationship with you. What he's doing is putting the ball in your court, and then you decide whether or not you want to roll with the program. If a man is married, let me tell you this. Let's talk about the married man. If a man is married and he's seeing a woman on the side and he going back home to his wife, no matter what he said negative about his wife, if he leaving you and going back home to his wife, that's telling you something. Because if he got so much problem, if he having so many problems with his wife, why he leaving you going back to his wife? Ask yourself that question. Then you have some men that living with a woman, which is wrong anyway. Those that live with a woman, but he's loyal with that woman. And you know that he's living with another woman and he ain't even married to her. But he be with you, he do things with you, but he leave you, he get out of your bed. He get out of your bed and go back to this other woman. So what is that telling you? If the man was really into the woman, the other woman, he would be with the other woman. Now, there are some women that say, okay, I know that he got a wife. Or I know that he got a girlfriend. Let's just put the girlfriend out of the way. Let's say the woman said, I know he got a wife. And the man let the woman know, I got a wife. And she dealing with that man. Let me tell you how it normally go. If a woman on the outside knows that a man is married, and he's straight up with the woman and let the woman know that he's married. Some women, they think that they can handle it. Some do. But let me tell you something. The more time this married man spend around you, you're going to try to keep it business, right? I'm not talking directly to you, sister, but I'm just talking in general. Because somebody listening to me, because someone is in this situation what I'm talking about now. So you actually think that if this man seeing you and this man said, look, I got a wife. And he's seeing you. And you think you're going to keep it kosher, right? You think that you can handle it, don't you? Most women can't handle it. They might say at the beginning, I can handle that situation. At least he was up front and told me that he have a wife. So if you have a wife, I have an understanding. But you see, the thing about it is this. A woman is what? And this word, you all know the word that I'm about to say, emotional. If a man come in and he treat that woman as he would treat his wife, he put, he's good at it. He's good at it. If he treat this woman with kindness, thoughtfulness, and he does things for her, and then the key thing is he starts sleeping with the woman. So now, when he starts sleeping with the woman, what's going to happen? A soul tie going to develop. And when a soul tie develops, it's going to be hard for a woman to separate it. At first, she thinks she can handle sleeping with this married man. But the more this married man sleep with her, and then a lot of women, not all, some women, they just cut off all other men. They don't want nothing to do with no other men. They want to just deal with this married man, right? There's some men out there that would like to talk to him and stuff. Now, you have some women that still have their little stuff on the side. But a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, they would say, I don't want no more man. So they thinking, I just deal with this man. And when they just deal with that man, guess what? Their focus is on that man. So when this man doing things with them, they start developing feeling. They get soul tied. Once that man, she liked the man already. And once she liking the man already, she like how he talk, everything he doing for her. Then they start sleeping together, and they sleeping together, and they sleeping together, and they doing things, and they doing things. She is going to develop a bond with that man. Men can somewhat hold off on the bond, but eventually he gonna start feeling for her. But men in general, they could look at another woman is like, I'm not gonna leave my wife. I might deal with you. As a matter of fact, some of you all seen that Ray Charles movie, right? If you seen the Ray Charles movie that Jamie Foxx was in, Regina King was like the side woman in his group, right? And she wanted Jamie Foxx, to leave his wife be. What did Ray tell her? You knew the rules. I'm not leaving B. And even that, when Ray moved to California, the lady came to California and she was in a hotel. She wanted Ray to come over to the hotel. What did Ray tell him when he went to the phone? He said, don't call me no more. And he didn't leave B. So let me tell you something, you sisters. If you deal with Ray and he got a B, you're not going to come before B. That's just all to it. You're not going to come before B. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Now, there are some men. There are some exception to the rule. They may leave their wives. But let me tell you something, sister. If you have full knowledge that a man is married, and you participate in it, and you want that man to be with you, and he decide to leave, you see, if the man leave his wife for you, that's going to be a real issue. Because if he leave his wife for you, what's going to happen? He's either going to start seeing somebody else while he with you, or you going to start seeing someone else, or both of y'all going to see someone else. You know why? Because it didn't start off right from the first go-round. You knew he was in a relationship with that woman. So what make you think you're an exception to the rule if he come and be your man? Now, if that man and his wife, if they cut ties and everything, and I'm not endorsing this, but if a man cut tie with his woman, he need to be in a cut tie with his wife before he meets you. Not while he with you, but before he meets you. I could tell you this, my brothers and sisters, there are some women that I know, they fully knew that the man was in a relationship with a woman prior to them. And I've seen it over and over and over again. These women, they knew that the man was in a relationship with another woman. The man left the woman, came where they was at, and they thought that it was going to be a love story. They thought it was going to be love forever and a day. And what happened? The man started doing the same thing that he did when he was with that other woman. And then the woman that heard it now, she don't see, whereas she was dealing with a man that was with another woman. What make her think that she's an exception to the rule? She's not no exception to the rule, because she fully knew that that man was with another woman and she was doing her thing with the other woman. Let me see, Deborah said, a man might leave his wife, but he will not treat that other woman like his wife. Amen to that, Sister Deborah. And let me tell you this too, sisters. Let me tell you this. There's no such thing as a man, you taking a man from a woman. You can't take a man from a woman. He willfully come to be with you. Now, there are some women that think, how can him and his wife have a good relationship, but he be with me all the time? If he loved her so much, he would be with her. We go on trips together. He spend the night over my house. We do all of this. But you see, the key thing, what they don't understand here, he still haven't divorced his wife. And his wife haven't divorced him. Him and his wife, they could be estranged for 20 plus years. But he still won't divorce that woman. And then he get with this other woman. He don't love her, because if he loved her, he would cut ties with his wife. He would cut ties. So if he's not cutting ties with that woman, that means that it doesn't take that much for him to go down there. If you want to get a divorce, I'm not endorsing divorces. So don't come saying, Tony, talk about getting divorced. I'm not endorsing. I'm just telling you a real life stuff. If he really wanted you, he would divorce his wife and be with you. But no, you want to get a house and stuff with this man. You want to get property with this man. You want to get investment with that man. His name on it, your name on it. If he die, guess what? That wife coming and cleaning up. She's the original clean up woman. Betty Wright ain't got nothing on no woman that's married to a man. He died, and the wife come and clean up everything. And then, if it's you going to be saying, her and him ain't been together for 20-some years. Now, how can she just come and get the house? How can she just come get the assets and stuff? She knew that me and him were together. We even met. We even went to the children graduation. His children and her children, we went to the graduation. We went to the wedding and stuff. His wife knew me. His wife had a boyfriend. His wife knew that we were together. Now he dead. Now she coming claiming everything. They're just wrong. It ain't wrong. Just because his wife knew about you, and his wife could have had a boyfriend, and he knew about it, and she was doing her thing, and he was doing her thing. When it come down to real life, you're going to see how friendly things are going to be. It's not going to be that friendly. You know why? Because the root part of it is like this. God was not pleased with the situation at all. God was not pleased. So if you in a relationship with a man, sister, and he still have time to another woman, you better, God's blessing is not in it. His blessing is not in it at all. God's original plan was for a man and a woman to work together as one. When you look at things in the Bible, you see you see people that, even though they was imperfect, they fell down because they are not one man or woman that righteous. No, not one. But when you see couples in the Bible, God worked greatly through couples. He worked great. He worked very great with couples. He worked very good with Abraham and Sarah. He worked very well with Isaac and Rebekah. He worked very well with Boaz and Ruth. He worked very well with Mary and Joseph, Ananias and Sapphira. He worked very well with different couples, Mary and Joseph. He worked very well with a couple. Now the question is, why did God allow someone like King Solomon and King David, his daddy, and the original player that I told you that's in Genesis 4:19? Why that guy in Genesis 4:19, he had 2 wives. Why did God allow it? I don't know why God allowed it, but he allowed it. But God already knew they were going to have problems. Because God knew when you deal with more than one woman, you're going to have problems. Because they're emotional. A woman wants attention. Some of you brothers, you need to understand it. When you're dealing with more than one woman, they want attention. They want to be pampered. They want you to see them as the apple in your eye. So, brother, if you, even these guys that got a whole bunch of assets and money, you still got to deal with that emotional part of a woman. The emotion part could be up this day, down this day. Because you trying to be logical, brother. You trying to be logical and rational, but you dealing with an emotional being, a woman. And their emotion can fluctuate. I'm not saying women are crazy, but their emotion can fluctuate. Because women operate on how they feel. Because if you listen to a woman, she mostly say, I did it because I felt like it. I didn't feel like doing it. You made me feel that way. I feel this. I feel that. And that's how they operate on their feelings. If she feel good, you get some good out of it. If she feel bad, you get some bad out of it. And you trying to say what her problem. That's why I'm telling you, brothers, if you wise, you should narrow your relationship down. You shouldn't be doing that with multiple women, because, like I said, it's gonna be taxing your mind. The mental part is going to mess you up. The emotional part, your emotion going to be going up and down. Your body, brother, you can't be having sex all the time. What if all of them want to have sex with you on one night? You're not going to be able to do it. You might be able to do it with a few of them, depending on how old you are. You might, but that's wrong too, because God wants you to be married when you do that. You understand? So if you decide to do that, you're gonna come short. And if you're dealing with these multiple women and they want to have sex with you and you don't be able to perform, they're gonna be saying, "What's up with you?" So you got to understand that, brothers. And then your money, your assets, they want to go out. They want to go out. They want things. You ain't no billionaire, and they want things, right? You ain't got to be no billionaire. They want things. And if your money going out to that woman, your stuff going down. Your last name ain't Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. Cause Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they money be going just like that while they ain't even working. Do your money roll like that when you're not working? Most of the time it's not. Most of the time your money, your resources not coming in like Warren and Bill Gates them or Elon Musk. Your money ain't rolling like that. So your pocket's gonna be depleted. And a lot of time when your pocket get depleted, brothers, a lot of time, that's why some of those women, not all of them, they're with you for what you can do for them, not for you. And you think they there for you. Majority of the women, not all of them, but majority of women are there for what you can do for them. It's not for you. And once you lose what you got, they're going to be gone. Now, a man cannot love more than one woman exactly the same. There's no way a man could love a woman on the exact level. There's going to always be one. If he's dealing with more than one, there's going to always be one woman that have the precedence over the other. Always remember that. If a man is dealing with more than one woman, now we talk about single. A single man, he gonna have one gonna be the top girl. If he's married, if a man is married and he's dealing with a side woman, and he's not planning on leaving his wife, if you're the side chick, it's obvious who it is. And let me tell you this: if a man is into his wife, and you decide to be the side chick, if you decide to be the side chick, you could give up holidays and stuff. Cause guess what? If he into his wife and he got some, and he think even though he's doing wrong, he's gonna make sure he's gonna be with that wife first. It's gonna be family first, holidays, family first. If he see you, he will, if you're in the same city, he might run through there during the early part of the day to see you. If he don't see you during the early part of the day, he will see you after everything is over. He might call you and say, how everything is, how was your day and stuff like that. So you're going to be over to your people house and your friend house with the puppy look on your face because he with his wife and children. Now, there are some men that, depending on how messed up their home is, he might do spend holidays and all that kind of stuff with you. It just depends on how messed up his situation at home, where he just don't care. And he just doing his thing and his wife doing her thing. But in general, he's going to make sure he's going to spend that precious time with the wife. Since a lot of women, you like holidays and stuff, right? You like holidays and stuff. One of the big holidays in the Western world, the United States, is Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. He might get, if you the side woman, he might get you something. He might get you something. He might try to get you out of the way before Valentine's Day. Or he might swing through early on Valentine's Day because you know he can't stop. He might swing through, give you some flour that's going to die in a few days, give you some candy or whatever. Then he got to go back. He got to be with his wife. He's going to be taking his wife to the restaurants. He's going to go to the jewelry store and buy his woman some jewelry. He might buy you some too. But he's going to spend more time with his wife than you. He might swing through at night. Since you all like holidays and stuff, what about Mother's Day? Mother's Day going to be with his wife and he's going to make sure he take care of his mama. He's going to see his mama and he's going to be with his wife. Even if you have a child by him, yes, you the mother of his child, but his wife, she get priority over you. Now, there are some women that listen to me right now, and I hope I ain't talking on you, sister, but there are some women that listen to me right now. You don't want to hear this. You don't want to hear the truth. You can't stand the truth, and I'm giving you the truth. The reason why I'm giving you the truth is because I don't want you going around here being delusional. I don't want you being delusional. I want you to face the fact that a man cannot love more than one woman exactly the same. The woman that he invests most of his time in is the one that's the one. A man could tell his wife, I love you. He could tell another woman, I love you. That's talk. I could tell my wife I love her. I could tell this other woman that I love her. But what is love? We know that God is love, but what is love to a woman? What is love to a woman? You're going to find yourself, if you're the outside woman, you're going to find yourself, you think you can handle it, right? You really, really think you can handle it because you got a little boyfriend on the side too, right? But what if you only see this other man when this other guy, he's not available? And when this guy is not available, that's when you might want to do your other little thing on the side. But when you know he coming through and stuff, this little stuff on the side, you're gonna cancel him out, right? But let me tell you something, when you cancel this other man out, guess what? You think that other man gonna be waiting for you to get finished with that other guy? No, because this other man, he got some action going on too. So it's the big cycle. It's a very, very big cycle. God see the whole parade. Sister, you don't see the whole parade. God see the whole parade, and you all know what I mean by that. It's just like if you go to a parade and you standing there on the sidewalk looking at the parade coming. You see the beginning, and you see a little bit what's about to come, but you don't see the end of the parade, right? But God see, when God is like standing on a building, God looking down, and God see the beginning of the parade, the middle of the parade, and the end of the parade. God see the whole thing. You, sister, don't see the whole thing. You see part of the parade. By the time you get to the end of the parade, you don't know what's going to happen. God knows what's all going to happen. If the relationship is not right, it's the key thing. If the relationship is not right, it's going to fall. Because the relationship is not built on the rock. It's only two ways of a relationship going to be built on. It's either going to be built on the rock or it's going to be built on the sand. The houses could be the same, but it's about the foundation. If the foundation is not the rock and it's the sand, it's going to go. In the process of time, sister, that's why right now, there's a lot of women that are hurting right now. They're hurting right now because you got into a relationship with someone that you got emotionally tied with, and it's been years and years and years, and you still got that soul tied to that man. That man had gone on with his life, and you still tied to him. You could even be married to another man, but you soul tied to this other guy. You could be dating another man, but you soul tied to this other guy because you let him get too close. You let him get into your ear. When he got into your ear, he worked on your heart, your emotions. Then you open that door, your will up, and then he got to your mind, and that way he at to this day, he in your mind. If your phone ring, you happy. It could be years gone by. That phone ring, you happy. If you get that text, you happy. If he said, let's meet up, you happy. And you going to make it happen. You could be in a full-fledged relationship you could be married, or you could be in a full-fledged relationship with another man. But if that man you soul tied to, you're going to drop everything and you're going to go back to that man. And then once you be with that man, your soul tie going to get stronger again, and you're going to be entangled again with that man. That's what's going to happen. And I'm giving you a warning. It's not going to be right. All that stuff that you see on the movies, all that stuff that you listen to music about that other stuff, and you looking at Lifetime and all that kind of stuff, who's seeing other people and stuff like that, you looking at the soap operas and stuff, all that stuff for entertainment, but it's not real life. It's based on real life. So if it's based on real life, you see those people on TV and all that kind of stuff, they come to get paid because they hear somebody say action and cut. But in real life, it ain't all about action and cut. You living a life, and I'm trying to help you sisters. If a man is dealing with more than one woman, you got to understand this. He cannot love all of you at exactly the same time. Somebody is going to lose. Hopefully it's not you, but somebody's going to lose. And you're going to be hurt. You're going to be bamboozled. And then you're going to try to blame the man because he hurt you. That man didn't hurt you. You willfully got into a relationship with a man and you know another woman was there. So how did he hurt you? Now I can see if he lied to you. But if the man lied to you, sister, let me tell you this is why you need the discernment of God. You need God discernment, because if a man walk up on you, if you have the spirit of God in it, something's going to tell you that something ain't right with that man. God going to warn you that man in a relationship with someone, or he dealing with people. Your discernment going to let you know if this man is lying to you. That's why you have to be close to God, you single sisters. You have to be close to God. And you married sisters. You married sisters. Let me tell you this. Sister, just because you married doesn't mean that no man is not going to approach you. You think your ring really means something to most men, sister? Your ring don't mean nothing to most men. Let me break it down to you. Those men, sister, they basically want what you have when you lay on your back. They don't care whether you have a husband or not. You can go back home to your husband, because they are not obligated for you, but they will want you on your back. And then they'll scoot you on home back to your husband. And then you see the thing about it, some of you sisters that are married and you seeing a man on the side, the thing about it, you could get soul tied to a man that's not your husband. Now you got a problem. You get soul tied to another man that's not your husband. And when you get soul tied to another man that's not your husband, then you're going to get angry when you find out that he's seeing somebody else. Why, sister, if you married, you getting angry at a man that you're not married to? You married to someone, but you get angry at this other man because he might got a wife, or he might got a woman, or he's seeing somebody. Why are you going to get angry? What you're doing is wrong anyway. And let me tell you this too. A lot of sisters, you get to the point where you get so soul tied with a man, you want to leave your husband. You want to leave your husband because you want a life with this man. Now, sometimes it happens, but if you go to that man and he knew you got a husband, guess what? More than likely, he's going to see somebody when y'all get together, or more than likely, you're going to see somebody when y'all get together, because it didn't start out right. So it's dangerous, sister. I'm just giving you some red flags. You need to be aware of what's going on. And I hope that I help you, because God playing, like Jesus said from the beginning, when Jesus talked in Mark chapter 10, 6 through 9. Mark chapter 10, 6 through 9. Mark chapter 10, 6 through 9. Jesus said, at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. It did not say God made them male and females. It didn't say that. It said God made them male and female. That was God's original plan. God's original plan was for a man and a woman to get together, to reproduce, and have dominion over wherever God placed them at. God's original plan was not for man to have several women and he dominate with all those women. That's not God's way. But God allowed it. He allowed it, but when God allowed it, these men had more problems. It did not go smooth with them as King Solomon. King Solomon dealt with 1,000 women, and they stole his heart away from God. So, brother, if you're dealing with more than one woman, there's a strong possibility. It don't have to be 1,000 women. There's a strong possibility if you deal with another woman consistently outside of your numero uno, it's a possibility that that woman might steal your heart from you based on your relationship with God. So you have to be very careful. So can a man love more than one woman exactly the same? No way. No way can he do it. So I hope that taught you all something. No way a man can love two different women or more exactly the same. It's going to always be one that got priority over everyone else. So I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I hope that you all enjoyed the dinner for tonight. Your brother Tony had this good meal for you. I hope you could take something out of it. I hope it worked for you. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out.